Yo, what's good, world? What's good? It's your boy Preezy back at it again. More sage words of advice, motivation, encouragement, wisdom, all that. Today's another opportunity to be great. Let's go get it with a fervor and a zest. You know, running a little late this evening, but the message I want to talk about today is the importance of ignoring the outside noise. And this goes in relation with the topic I talked about a week ago or so. And that's about doing what works for you, ignoring what other people say. In life, a lot of people have opinions, a lot of people have different ways of doing things, but you want to ignore the outside noise, and do what works for you, do what works best for you. Like people have their suggestions and it may be sound advice, but that particular advice doesn't align with what you want to do at that current moment, at that current time or whatever, so you want to ignore the outside noise. And it could also be negative noise, you want to ignore the negative noise, people just, raining on your parade, shitting on you or whatever, so on and so forth. You want to ignore the outside noise and just take in the positive. Like that doesn't mean to ignore constructive criticism. You could take constructive criticism and apply it, but you don't want to internalize it. Sometimes people dress up constructive criticism, and it's really like some underlying hate or disdain or shade or whatever have you. So you want to ignore that noise, and also you want to block out some of the positive noise too. I wouldn't say block it out, but you want to ignore when people are constantly saying great things about you. What I mean by ignore is, yes, it's good to accept what they say and thank them for thinking that highly of you, but you can't let that go to your head to where you thinking that you better than anybody else, or that you don't have to go through the same trials and tribulations, you don't have to put in the same work, like your shit don't stink. Basically, you can't start letting the praise get to your head and make that alter how you move in a negative fashion. Like you may have been putting in the work at a high level at one point, but then you kept hearing people say that you're this great person, you're good at this or whatever have you, and then that affects how you approach your craft or whatever it is that you're doing, because you got so wrapped up in what they were saying. You're like, oh, I don't gotta work as hard, like, I'm this, I'm that. So you don't ever want to take too much of that noise in and then have that working against you. So it's just on various levels. You got to ignore the noise around you and really listen to yourself, really internalize things within how you feel, with how you want to do things, what you want to go about, when you want to go about it, where you want to go about it, and with whom you want to go about it with. So that's just the message for the day. But it's your boy Preezy. Peace.